In 1994, Japanese company Yamaha released the VL1 synthesizer, utilizing groundbreaking synthesis technology from the time. It is known as digital waveguide synthesis, a form of physical modeling synthesis developed at Stanford University. Only a handful of products were released on the market in the 1990s using digital waveguide synthesis, like the Korg Oasis PCI card. But among them, the Yamaha VL1 stands above the rest. Even today, while there are great and plentiful options for physical modeling synthesis, no software plugin on the market utilizes the exact same synthesis method. Therefore, you cannot easily depict most of the acoustic sounds that VL1 excels in, like brass, strings, reed instruments, and woodwinds, on other forms of synthesis software. Since the actual VL1 is only duo-phonic, 2 voices, and only has a few real-time parameter controls, it's not easy to create the sound of a living, breathing ensemble like a small orchestra. Yamaha produced what is known as the VP1 synthesizer, a polyphonic version of the VL1, but only 5 units exist in the entire world, and only 2 are known to be in the hands of private collectors. With the use of multiple VL1 synthesizers and a custom-built Reaktor MIDI processing patch, along with a now discontinued software editor, I have built 10 and even 12-voice real-time polyphonic synthesized orchestral-like ensembles that can sound eerily realistic with the right settings. Since each synthesizer is its own hardwired stereo source, surround sound spatialization can be done very easily, adding to the realism. While realistic sounding orchestral acoustic music using samples is possible, it does not offer anything close to the real-time control of physical modeling synthesis. Sounds can be bent to such extremes by changing settings like pipe length, reed pressure, or lip collision that they are no longer recognizable as acoustic instruments, but more like something resembling an acoustic oscillator. This Reaktor patch was designed for live MIDI keyboard input that takes a polyphonic input and spreads it evenly across 5 VL1 synthesizers, which produces 10 voices simultaneously. Since the VL1s respond most expressively to a breath controller input, Reaktor was also employed to create virtual breath LFOs to produce virtual bowing and swelling of all 10 voices at once. With enough real-time MIDI modification, you can straddle the line between synthesis and acoustic sounds with incredibly bizarre results. To increase the realism of these synthesized acoustic textures, imperfections need to be added. In Reaktor, these imperfections can be implemented quite easily. Slight randomization added to the LFO data, changing the phase and the timing of the patterns. And also full randomization for complete chaos. After 10 years of developing the synthesis performance rig, I have started working with 3D visual artist Ray McClure on a visual engine that complements the sound as well as having a conceptual relationship to it. Ray has utilized real-time video game engines to create spectacular real-time 3D effects that respond to MIDI and audio. For this particular project, we decided that the LFO and control data produced in Reaktor that controls the synthesis would be perfect for also controlling Ray's visuals. Instead of using artificial or localized lighting, typical in most video games, we decided to use only one light source, the sun. Using the MIDI data to control the position, brightness, and other characteristics of this virtual sun, we can now cast shadows and sun rays inside of a virtual space that directly coincides with the synthesis being generated. Future plans include VR implementation, which is quite seamless since the Unreal Engine has built-in support for it, All of the sounds and music you have been hearing in this video are produced with my VL1 synthesizer rig, utilizing no overdubs. You can find me on Twitter @FluorescentGray. You can reach Ray McClure on Twitter @RayReadyRay. Thank you for taking an interest in this severely underexploited synthesis technology.